Hi, you're listening to the Build Your Digital Community podcast. I'm your host, Christina Bartold, the co-founder and co-CEO of The Social Snippet, a social media agency focused on business owners growing their digital communities. On this podcast, we'll talk about all things digital community building so that you can grow your network and ultimately your business. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Build Your Digital Community. I'm your host, I'm Christina, and I'm stoked to be here. This one's a little bit of a funny one. We don't know if we're going to be providing video content on this one because I'm actually in Kelowna, which is awesome. And I am just so excited. And I just realized I never turned this mic on. So I'm literally holding this mic and it's not even turned on.
Messy action.
Do I turn this mic on now?
If it's, yeah, sure, why not? If you can.
This is so funny. Okay, is the sound better?
I can't tell the difference.
This is hilarious. Here I am holding this little mic. Like I'm freaking, like one of those like YouTube stars, and
you did look like a TikTok sensation for a moment there.
And no dice on better sound?
I mean, maybe. I can't tell, honestly.
Okay, I'm just going to keep holding it. Well, anyway, thanks for being on this journey with us, everybody. So I am so excited because Maria's here with me. I am actually on a trip. I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia, because our friends and clients, Jamie and Dale, launched their books this weekend. And so I had the opportunity to MC their first launch party. I'm MCing their second one tomorrow night. I am like just so excited for them, and it's been amazing. And really, it's been such a busy season for Maria and I, who is the other guest, and I'll let her introduce herself in a second. But it's been such a busy season for us, which has been amazing. But then, yeah, we needed to get this podcast in because we had a lot of things we wanted to talk about. So welcome, Maria.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for making the time. I know the time zone switching that you've been doing has not been easy, but I appreciate your 6 a.m. wake up for me. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to chat about this because a lot of people don't know about this. You will be the first folks to know this, is that we are launching our course or relaunching our amazing, like, kind of signature course next week. And by the time you listen to this, hopefully if you're listening the first day it's out, you'll hear about it more this week. It's coming. We're going to give you the scoop. But what we're really excited about this course is that we're really excited about Instagram. Like, we love Instagram. We've always loved Instagram. And we want to talk to you a little bit about why we love Instagram so much.
Yeah, Instagram, I was actually thinking about this morning. Like, my life would literally be completely different if Instagram didn't exist. And I just think that's so cool. I was reflecting today about how far I personally have come and how much of it I owe to Instagram. And it's just kind of funny because we always joke like, oh, Instagram could shut down tomorrow and what would we do? But it's stood the test of time. And when I was doing the research and looking at the stats of like how many people actually are using Instagram and how it's affecting like their purchase decisions and their businesses and all kinds of stuff, like it's actually mind-blowing when you look at the stats. So I'm so excited to talk about this because for me personally and for us and our business, it's been the biggest game changer that I didn't even know this was possible. What's been made possible through Instagram for us.
I totally agree. And I think what's actually really cool about Instagram, and we'll talk a little bit about our origin story, like for those of you who don't know it, because actually Instagram played a big part in it. But what's interesting about Instagram, I find for a lot of clients, is that people are just scared of it. Like, there is so much fear around the algorithm and fear around like not knowing what to do and how to do it. And I think it can be kind of overwhelming. Like, I can appreciate that it's something that feels really like stressful for folks. And I like want to demystify some of that stuff. And we definitely do with our course. Like, a lot of people who've taken our course are kind of like, whoa, this is actually way easier than I expected. But I think it's this like constant fear, right? That everything's changing all the time. But like a lot of our techniques haven't changed. And I feel like it's because we really understood early the impact Instagram can have and why it can be so important for a business owner and like how cool it can be to actually build those relationships. And I've talked about this before. I think it's on the episode, and maybe we can link it in the show notes, is the episode, it was called What Platform Should You Be On? And we went through every single platform. This was early days. I remember we were in a hotel room like probably a year and a half ago, like just like kind of chatting it out. It might have been the first episode you were ever on.
I think it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
went through it. And remember, Maria, actually, this is funny to talk about how far you've come. Like, remember we had to make notes?
Yeah, I'm surprised I still don't have to make notes. So it is a good testament. I was just thinking that I think that was my first one, and I feel like I probably wasn't very good on it, but I'm trying. I'm out here. I didn't
No,
make notes this time.
no, you were great. It's still in the top 10, actually, of
Oh,
episodes.
nice.
Yeah. But it's true. It's like trying to figure out what platform should you be on is a hard thing for business owners, right? Like, we talk about this all the time. Like, we are not immune to a lot of the problems our clients have. And so, even
Hmm.
like, I'm always like, ugh, TikTok. Like, we should be on it because, it's there, but I hate it because it's so much work. But really, like, why I love Instagram so much and have really leaned into Instagram being the platform that like I like to show up with the most is because I actually think Instagram is like the most of all the platforms primed to build audience, primed to build community, and primed for sales. I don't know if you agree, Mark.
Hmm. Totally. I mean, of the research I was doing about the stats on Instagram, like it was like hands down, Instagram was the number one place people surveyed said that they keep up with their favorite brands and like what informs their purchase decisions. And it's so funny because I never thought of Instagram that way. And I feel like we kind of fell into it organically, where when we were building your previous business, you were just kind of sharing and the sales were just coming. And it was a little bit, not by accident, but I think we just didn't realize the actual potential that was there. And I just feel like it's such a unique platform because not only is there so much potential for community and sales and visibility and reach and all these great things, but there are also so many like tools within it. Like you can sell directly on it. You can, create funnels and, link in bio and share on stories and do really educational like graphic feed posts, and it's just so versatile, which I think is so amazing, and there's so much potential there, so many people on it, and people are on it wanting to connect with brands and wanting to like look for what their next purchase is going to be, or their next like outsourcing or their next hire, or so many possibilities. But I really resonate with what you were saying about, I think people just get overwhelmed at the same on the same hand of like that can also be so overwhelming of like, oh, there's so many things to do, like which one of these things should I do and where do I even begin. And I think even though there are a lot of things to think about when it comes to Instagram, I think when people take our course, what they're most surprised by is that it doesn't actually have to be hard. Like it
Mhm.
can be easy and fun. And if you just like focus on a few key things that matter, then the actual execution, I think, becomes a lot easier.
Mhm. Yeah, I totally agree because I think actually those key things, and one of the thoughts I'm having while you're talking, always I have like 1,200 thoughts, but one of them is that like I really feel like honestly when I look at brands and businesses on Instagram, like I have like chosen things because they've had better social media or
Yep.
because they've shown up more authentically. And in the same respect, I have chosen things when people show up more authentically and they're not for me, right? Like, and that's, I think, really like we're always trying to suss out on social media, which is why I love Instagram because it's such a personal platform. Like, I find that a lot of people, like, I think about coaching or like service providers, even us. Like, so many times people have reached out to us and they've been like, I hired you because I love your Instagram. I love
Mm-hmm.
how you show up. I love connecting with you, right? And that is such an amazing thing. Like it is such a gift for us. But at the same time, like if we were showing up and we were super negative and like, all those things, like we maybe would repel some of those people. So I think it's
Mm-hmm.
really about like how we show up online and how we show up on Instagram is also so important because I really feel like it can be this amazing, amazing tool if done properly. And I love that the other piece of this is that we teach people in this course, and like not to give away too much, we teach people in this course how to find their ideal audience and not spin their wheels for 7 hours a day on Instagram. Like, because that is easy too. And I remember when I started my business and you worked with me, we spent a lot of fucking time on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
a
A
lot of
ton.
time. And did it pay off? Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, there were probably things we were doing that like we didn't need to be doing, and we were doing it because we felt like we had to or other people were doing it. And so I think it's also about like working like smarter, not harder. And the best thing about Instagram in my opinion is I think there's something for everybody. Like if you're somebody who's good at, like, for example, like I'm good at talking sometimes, and I'm not super jet lagged, but I can like go and I can jump on a story and I can talk about our latest event. I can sell from stories very easily because I've built a lot of know, like, and trust with my audience. That
Mm-hmm.
being said, that's harder for you. You don't like that as much, but you make killer reels. Like you make amazing graphics. Like, your ideas like of
Mm-hmm.
creativity are so cool, and that's just not me. And so us
Mm-hmm.
being able to find the ways to actually both maximize our Instagram potential, our reach, our impact without having to like really stretch our like limits and our comfort zone too much has been amazing.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's such a great point. And I think that's also why I love the variety is because you can just choose what works for you. And I was talking about this on our most recent episode, I think it was, about showing up on stories. And if you aren't the best at showing up talking on stories, take a picture of yourself and write out what you were going to say. Like, it's just so, there are so many ways that you can get the message out, get your content out there, be authentic. And you can find ways that feel easy and fun and natural for you and still show up the way that you feel like you need to show up without it being this big like scary task or chore that you're like dreading every day or like this thing that you're spending 10 hours a day trying to do. I think if you just focus on a few key things, really making sure you are like finding your ideal client, you know exactly who they are, where they hang out, where to find them, and then you are optimizing your profile and your content to speak to them and then, building that engaged community and converting them into hopefully buyers or clients or whatever that looks like for
Mhm.
you. It's just there's so much power behind it. And like just to think about only a few years ago, I was like the pandemic happened. I didn't have a job. I was like, what is my future ever going to look like? Any career I'd ever planned for myself had always just revolved around travel, and travel like was all of a sudden no longer a thing. To go from that space to the space I'm at now of like running a multi six figure agency, helping probably over 100 clients now build their own businesses and get their message out using Instagram. It's a little mind blowing. And like, I vividly remember being on a hike with one of my friends and just thinking like, oh my god, like I know I'm meant for so much more and there's so much more I want to do and I want to like, make a difference in the world and help people and do all these things and I just don't know how and I don't know what that looks like and all of that has like come true all because of Instagram. It's a
Mm.
little it's a little crazy, isn't it?
Oh, totally crazy. And I think what makes this different and like why I actually think like things have gone this way for us is because we've really focused on impact. Like
Mhm.
it hasn't been about like Instagram for virality. Like I have like what 4,500 followers. You have like 5,500 followers. Like it's not like we're Kim Kardashian over here like with millions of followers. Us posting our bikini pics. Not yet, everyone. But it's but it's been a lot of relationships. It's been connections.
Mhm.
It's been network. It's been like connecting with new people. It's been our events. It's been all of these things. And so I'm just like really excited and proud of that because I do think that there's been so much that like we've learned from Instagram. But like honestly, like I look at like all of these Instagrams of all these people that we know and like that we work with and we have like the true like pleasure of working with. And it's really incredible to see like how just some small principles that we know because we've tested it with so many people make such a difference in their sales, make such a difference in the way that they show up. And
Mhm.
that's not something that I was expecting. Like I wasn't expecting like I was never expecting us to have 60 clients. I always thought we'd be little social media managers and now we have a full agency. It's great. But like we teach our social media managers to do things in a very specific way because we know it works. And so I
Mhm.
think that's why like we're so passionate about creating this course and creating these webinars and like growing in this way. And it's not because like even I know so many people are obsessed with like income streams. Like they're like, oh my gosh, like, you need to have like 100 income streams in your business, like create a course, like do this, whatever, fine. But at the same time, for us, it's not been about that. It's really been about how do we reach more people with this? How do we help more people who might not be ready for done for you services, who actually like Instagram, but they're spending hours and hours of on Instagram every single day and they're not sure what to do? Like, we know what to do. Like,
We
like
do.
we've got the answer.
We've done it.
We're doing the damn thing. And it's been amazing seeing some of our past students of the course actually take it. And then it
Mhm.
really changed the game for them on how they show up online.
Yeah, it's been so cool. And I totally agree. Like, if you're wondering the why behind why we're creating this course and why we love it so much, it's because, like, look at the transformation Instagram has made all my life and our lives and our business. Like, it's like, I can't even put it into words. Like, it's just unbelievable. And to go from that place that I was at, like on that hike with my friend, like I know I'm meant for more. I don't have a job. Like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make a difference? Like, what what is next for me? To go from that to where I am now and having this life where I get to like run a business with my best friend, work wherever I want to work, whenever I want to work, and also create that a similar life for some of the people that work for us and also for our clients. It's like all of that came from Instagram and selling things on Instagram. And I want other people to have that same transformation. If you're like feeling that same feeling where maybe you're just at the earlier stages of your business and I'm like, I know this is made for so much more and I know that like so many people will benefit from having my product or having my service or taking my coaching or whatever that looks like, you can get that message out to those people and you can connect with them. And Instagram is the way to do it in my eyes. Like it has just been so transformational. So, why we're doing this course is because we want you to have the life you want to live and we want you to, you know, find your ideal clients and have all the visibility and sales and revenue and all of that amazing stuff that comes with that. So, I mean, I think most of your listeners know that a lot of the most of the things, if not all, that we do come from a place of like service and impact
Mhm.
and wanting to make the world better. And this is no different. So we're just sharing all the little secrets we learned along the way so that you can just take a shortcut instead of doing what we did, which was learning it the quote unquote hard way and, you know, having to make all the mistakes and figure out what works on your own. I think it's really impactful for us to be able to just share that shortcut with people and say, you know, here's what we've learned and here's how you can get there yourself. And I agree, talking to the past students, it's like so heartwarming. And it's funny, a lot of them say, like, this actually isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. And it's surprising, but I think that permission allows them to show up authentically in the way that they need to show up and they have the confidence behind them. And I think that's kind of the main piece that a lot of people just need, that the confidence, the skills, and the tools, which we all give you in this course. And it's just like I can't even put it to words. It's because it changes like this shit changes lives.
Yep.
It's not it's not low key. It's changed our lives, that's for sure.
And I was going to say too, this course isn't another course that's going to tell you to post 10 times a day. This is not a course that's going to, like, tell you to post 10 times a day, tell you to show up in stories 100 times, like tell you to do things. Like, we recognize your business owners. Like, Maria's actually like queen of this, which is, but like, Maria's always like, I don't have time to post my personal brand. Like, there's just too many things to do. Like, I don't have time. And so it's like, we know that, like, when we built this course, that was part of it, was like, we
Hmm.
knew that it's like some people aren't going to have time. Like, some of this stuff is hard. Like, so we like, firstly put this in like super bite-sized modules. Like, they're awesome little modules that people can like kind of work through. Two, it's really, really like, well executed, I think. Like, you could be someone who doesn't have an Instagram account, and we bring you to a point where you can be a little maven. I think about Karen when I think about this, because I know Karen, she had an Instagram account, but I know Karen, one of our past students, she's amazing. She has this amazing gift giving company. And so we'll link this in the show notes as well. Excuse me. Yeah, she is absolutely like fire. And she transformed in this course. You'll see her, she's one of our testimonials. She's incredible. But it's like, anybody at any level of your business, if you're like, hey, I've never shown up in a story, to, hey, I show up in stories every day and I'm looking to actually talk about, like, how do I sell in them? Like, I just don't
Hmm.
know how to sell in the stories. Like, and that's actually like where my expertise has really come in, has been like really in like showing how to like sell and like be able to like build no like and trust. Like, every time I sell something online, it sells. Like, talk about something in
Hmm.
stories, it sells. We have a dinner, it sells. But it's because I've built trust with people and I'm not constantly berating them with things I'm selling to them. Even though it feels like that lately, I feel like we've been selling so many things that, like, we were like, what are we talking about today? There's so many things. Um, but there's so many things that Instagram can do. And so, anyway, Maria, what I'll ask you is, we have an amazing webinar coming up that I know like you've been pouring into over the last week. Do you want to tell people a little bit about it?
Yay! I'm so excited. Well, I hope that you guys are listening to this before the webinar. And I'm so excited about the webinar. So it's called From Likes to Leads. And we've taught a lot in the past about like how to make content or how to like do different things on Instagram. And I think the piece that our audience is really now on to the next stage is like, how do I actually take my followers or these people that are liking my posts and make money? Like, how do I, use this for my business? Um, and so this is just a short webinar. It's only going to be 45 minutes because we know you're all busy. But we're really going to go through the strategies for how to not only set up your profile and your content to be attracting your ideal client, but then once they're there, how do you actually create an engaged community of people that want to buy from you and that know, like, and trust you? So it's going to be, I'm so excited. It's going to be a really great 45 minutes. Christina and I will both be there live. So happy to answer questions and stuff at the end as well. But, really going to go through the like tangible, tactical, how do you actually monetize your Instagram and, use it to get the visibility, sales, and revenue and life that you want for your business and for yourself.
Love it. I love it. When is it?
It is Wednesday, October 4th at 7 p.m. EST.
Yeah, love it.
Yes.
That is amazing. And I am so excited. I'll be tuning in actually from Arizona, where I'll be
Woo!
coaching in the Fast Foundations Mastermind. So I will be ducking out to just do this quick webinar and then ducking right back in. So I'm really excited about that. But so, folks, if you're listening to this and you're like, okay, yes, I'm so excited about this, I really want to learn more, we are actually going to be dropping the webinar as a bonus episode for you. So if you can't make the webinar, we're going to leave the webinar link in the show notes. Please sign up. There are going to be some juicy bonuses in there for listening to it live. But if you are listening to this and you're like, shit, it's Thursday, like I missed the webinar, on Friday, right after, I think that's the 6th, on Friday the 6th, there will be an episode that is live and it will be the webinar. And you'll get to listen to it and you will hear a discount code in there as well. So you can take part in our early bird bonuses. And Mar, maybe if someone's even past that and they're like a week after that, can you tell folks when our card opens and closes?
Yes, so cart opens on October 8th. It's the big day.
Whee!
And you'll have a full week to sign up. So cart will be closed on October 15th. And then we're getting started right away. October 16th, the cohort will begin. And we have weekly live calls. So I'm really excited about that too, because I think the Q&A kind of portion of Instagram for Impact has been really, really cool for us. And just getting, people to get in community with each other, but also use like our tools and strategies in their own business and figure out exactly what that looks like for them. So, October 8th to 15th is when you can buy Instagram for Impact.
Oh, amazing, amazing. And if you're like, oh, it's November, don't worry. We will be running this again in the new year. So you can keep your eyes peeled for that. We're so excited. We're always making changes, always adding. And the nice thing about it is that you have lifetime access. So if you buy this in October and then we rerun it in January, you can take it again. You can go through all the resources. If we add another resource, you're in, don't worry. So there's a lot of options for you. So I'm just really excited. And so thanks, Mar, so much for doing this. I know we're turning this episode around pretty quick because it's a few days before it's going live, but I'm just so excited about the impact this is going to make for folks and so excited to be doing this with you.
Oh, thanks for having me. I'm also so excited about the course. If anybody has any questions, feel free to DM us either at the social snippet or my personal at _Maria Tassi. I'm happy to chat with you, answer any questions, or chat about anything else that we kind of talked about in this episode. I know we went through a little bit of our story and some other tips. So if you want to jam out on anything, please shoot me a message. I'd love to chat.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, thank you so much, Maria. Thanks so much to everybody who is listening. Let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to DM us, ask us anything that you're wondering, and we can't wait to see you in the course or at the webinar. Have an amazing day.
Woohoo!
Thanks so much for listening to the Build Your Digital Community podcast. If you loved the episode, please don't forget to rate us and leave us a review. Now, we'd love for you to be a part of our digital community. Text JOIN to 855-908-4688 to join our text list for exclusive social media tips, or DM us on Instagram at the social snippet, letting us know what you loved about the episode. Keep on building community, and to this and so much more.